So, in case anybody was wondering how I've been holding up ever since Talia died, figured I'd make a little update. It's only been a few days, but it has been a long few days. Real long. It both feels like it just happened. It did. It was only 4 days ago. But also feels like a lifetime ago at the same time, somehow. If that makes any sense. I'm not sniffly from crying this time. This is just morning allergies because I haven't even been up an hour, but I actually haven't cried yet today, but it's only 7 a.m. There's still plenty of time for that to change, but it's been a roller coaster. So Dolly's already been cremated. We have her ashes back home. She's in a temporary urn right now because the one that we ordered for her is apparently back ordered, but we wanted her here. So they gave us basically like the floor model, the display model urn of the one that we chose. It's a little pink heart with paw prints on it. The real one will have her name and the dates on it, birth to death, but because we actually did know her birthday, so it won't be here till November, though, so we were not going to just leave her there all alone all that time. Yeah, I know some of you are, like, rolling your eyes going, dude, it's a dead dog. She doesn't know the difference. It doesn't matter. We know the difference. We know the difference. And we were not comfortable with that. So we picked her up, and when they get the real one in, they'll let us know. And I don't know, at that point, did we, like, bring her back and they transport her into it, or did they just hand it to us and we have to like figure it out with a funnel? I don't know. Anybody who's been through this before, please advise, because this is brand new territory for us, because this is the first pet we've ever had cremated. We've always buried the others, but all the coyotes we have had lately, it's like we didn't dare, because after those horror stories we've heard of pets that weren't buried deep enough, and then an animal digs them up, and then next thing you know, you see a coyote running off with its head in its mouth or something. We were not willing to play that damn game. So, you know, I just now have the mental image that I keep trying not to let my brain go to of thinking what she went through in that machine, and it keeps fucking with me. I'll be like completely chill, relaxed, fine, and then that'll pop in my head and I am a hysterical, ugly crying mess all over again the second I think about that. Because just to me, I don't know, cremation seems very foreign to me and feels very barbaric to do that to somebody that you loved so deeply. That just seems barbaric to know that their body was destroyed like that. Yeah, I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying really, really hard not to. I'm like, it's only 7. Come on, dude. Don't do this. But yeah, like, apparently, while I was filming the last update video, my parents were already in the process of driving her to the place. I would have been with them had I realized, but I was here, ugly crying in a video for you guys. I'm not blaming you, I'm not blaming me, it's the way it worked out. Maybe it was for the better, I don't know, but them's the breaks, and we literally had her back next day in the temporary urn. So, I mean, on one hand, I'm kind of relieved just to have her back, even as ashes. At least there's something tangible I can go touch and hold. On the other hand, I don't know, like, are the cremains in a temporary urn, like, inside of a bag, or are they just poured in the temporary urn directly? How do you get all of them out? I don't know. These are the things that fuck with me when I think about it too much, and I'm trying not to. And the fact that Kimberly asked the same thing, I was like, oh, see, you do care, I knew it. As much as she pretended like she couldn't stand that, I was like, I knew you cared deep down, you just hid it better. So, yeah. There was that. The very first day after, the day that I filmed that last video, as you saw, I was a hysterical, sobbing wreck that pretty much continued all day. on and off all fucking day. I would make it, if I was lucky, maybe 15 or 20 minutes of not doing it, and then it would hit again as soon as I thought about it again, and then it was a wreck again. The next day, I did a little better, but that first day was rough. I mean, I imagine it would be for anybody. That first day is the worst. Those first 24 hours, especially hitting the 24-hour mark and realizing that a day ago this time is when she was leaving. It's like, yeah, that one fucked with me pretty hard. And then the guilt again of my not having been in the room at the moment she passed. And that hit in waves and just made me feel 10 million times worse. I still feel guilty. I'm sure I will the rest of my life. I'm gonna feel guilty over that, but can't change what's happened. You can only move forward. So day 2, I actually made it most of the day without crying. Day 2. Was I just wandering around aimlessly all day, kind of in a fog, feeling all cried out? Yes. I don't think I realized just how many times a day I walked downstairs just to pet the dog, just to snuggle the dog, just to kiss her little face. And doing that for so many years, your muscle memory still goes through the motions of walking down those stairs and looking around for her. And then you remember she's not there, and you lose it all over again. But I had been pretty cried out on day 2, so I was just bummed every time I walked downstairs and remembered, oh yeah, that's right. Yep. So what my mom did, because she's taken it even harder than me, if you can imagine, years ago, she had these tote bags made for herself. I think they were like a Shutterfly thing that she got as like a freebie, and you could have like any pictures you wanted put on the bags. She did one bag that just has like full-size picture of just a Talia on it. There was another one that has like a collage of Talia on it. Priorities. The fur babies over the real babies. Honestly, I would do the same damn thing. Like, I am not even salty about it. I would 100% do the same thing even if I were like an actual human parent. But I get it. I get it. Like, so she took the one with like the big picture of Talia on it, and she hung it on the door of the curio cabinet that's in the corner of the living room, where when Talia has her permanent room, we're gonna put it in there so that she's always in the front room, always in the direct line of sight, always near us, always sitting near us. But for right now, we just have her on a counter so we can walk by, we can touch it as we're still going through the motions. So actually, it's kind of a blessing in disguise that we don't have the permanent urn yet. But she hung that there. And just the angle of that photo, it's one of those photos where it feels like the eyes are following you anywhere you walk in the room. And while that sounds creepy, it's actually super comforting right now because the size it printed at is approximately the right size that she was. So it kind of just feels like when she'd just be laying there with her little head on her paws, just like watching, observing whatever's going on in the room. Like, it just feels like that. So it does help, as silly as it sounds, because like you walk downstairs and like, again, we were just so in the habit of like instantly like scanning the room for where's the dog to A, make sure we're not like tripping on her, B, make sure she's not getting into it. Just like, that was always just like a subconscious immediate thing, was like just scanning for where is the dog at any given moment. So since she's been gone, doing that and then realizing she's not there has pretty much been a huge trigger for more ugly crying for me and my mom. So having that hung there and doing that scanning thing and realizing, wait, she's right there. Okay. It's that tiny little detail that like brings a bit of peace to something where it's just like such a subconscious, deep-rooted thing. It's at least giving it something to latch onto and be like, oh, okay. Right, she's right there. Okay, hi, baby. And like walk over to it. Sometimes we'll pet the picture. Might even give it a little kiss. I know, it sounds silly, but you do what you gotta do to grieve, okay? Okay. I mean, we walk by the urn, we pet it too every time we walk by. We say good morning and good night to it, start and end of the day. Again, call us ridiculous, I don't care, but we're doing what we gotta do, you know? But just having that there, honestly, is so comforting. It's not like we didn't have pictures of her fucking everywhere, because we do, but like, again, priorities. Pictures of the dog everywhere. Pictures of the human kids, there's a few. It's mostly the dog, and again, I agree with that. I would rather it be pictures of the dog. It's like, no one needs to be looking at this. Like, fuck that. I'm glad it's the dog. But anyway, Talia was much prettier. So anyway, there's that. So I made it through the daylight hours of day 2. More or less okay, other than like when we went to the crematory to pick up the ashes in the temporary urn. Got choked up in the car, understandably. Got choked up in the place, looking around, seeing the cart that she no doubt had been laid on before she'd been brought back. I knew exactly what I was looking at. Again, I watch enough of the mortician channels to know exactly what it is I'm looking at, but, again, this is allergies, not crying, full disclosure, just shitty morning allergies. It finally got cold enough for the heaters to turn on, so it's blowing all the dust in the air through the heater vents still, so yeah, stuffy nose is just gonna be a thing, so anyway. Whoop. Anyway, so I made it through the daylight hours. I was more or less productive, forcing myself to work more on the cleaning efforts in my room. You know, that pesky little thing of why I wasn't with her the moment she passed, so I kept getting up in my own head about that as I was working on it, and feeling so guilty. But then I kept having to remind myself the only thing that would be worse than the fact that you weren't with her at the moment she passed because you were doing this would be if after that you then don't finish this and it was in vain that you weren't with her. So finish the damn job. So that is what I have been largely focused on doing. So I got like about 80% of the floor space of that side of the room cleared out. That's huge. That's huge progress, guys. For how bad it was, that's huge. And I made it back to that wall that night. Moved the bench chair out, brought my TV table with my video games and everything that had been in this room for hella years in there. It is now officially in my room, up against that wall. It's great. It's lovely. Unfortunately found that one of my Wiimotes apparently had a battery corrosion pretty bad coming out the side. I had to scrap the controller. I tried to clean it. It was coming out of like even the screw holes, and I was like, this is for sure too far gone. Like if it's coming even out the front of it, it is for sure corroded through the internals in that controller. I'll just get a replacement. It's not the first time I've had to do that with a Wiimote. The whole reason I had the cool blue one was because of that happening to my original white one. So fun. Not buying it yet. It's not frequent enough that I use it to feel like I need to right now, but I have it in my Amazon cart to get it a later time, but yeah. But that's in there. Bench seat's now in here where it was, so my mom can use this like a little shelf in here, whatever. So that was pretty big progress to get that done that night, although by the time I reached that point, I was again at the point of hysterical ugly crying just because the overwhelm of guilt hit again while I was working on it. So, you know, as you do. So, yesterday rolled around, kind of backslid a bit. Definitely backslid, because I woke up already emotional again. Cried almost right off the bat. I'm still sleeping with this guy here. Just to have something roughly approximating her size, roughly approximating her shape, her color, just to have it close, just to hold it. So, I'm so stupidly grateful for this little plushie, as silly as that sounds, but immeasurably grateful for it. So I sleep with it right next to me. I don't even care that it makes me like a literal child. I don't care. I don't care. Don't judge me. I'm doing what I gotta do to deal. So, and then the rest of the time, she sits right here. So, anyway, yesterday, I went through, got some of the last stuff that was still on the floor. There's still a couple more things I need to work through. There's still the broken shoe organizer that I need to just get rid of that fucking thing and then figure out where I'm gonna store my shoes instead without it. Because, like, it was one of those aluminum, like, it's like a little rack, rectangular, like a little teeny shelf only this far off the floor. What purpose is it serving? I have no idea, but my mom insisted on giving it to me years ago. Honestly, that thing has been more trouble than it's worth. I'd rather just literally keep the shoes on the floor in the same spot, I think. But regardless, yeah, I gotta get through that. But yesterday's project was going through and securing the yarn wall with zip ties, and I thought this was gonna be a quick and easy little thing, maybe 2 or 3 hours tops. This was 8 hours, maybe 8.5. I started at 2. I finished around 10:30 at night. It was basically an all-day slog on it. And in the famous words of Ringo, I have blisters on me fingers. I got one right here. I have one right here. I have one right here. Just like, ow. Because I wasn't just doing the zip ties. I also had a pair of pliers that I was yanking it tighter with on each one and then twisting it so that it's not like a sharp thing from where I trimmed them down. But oh my god, trying to secure that fucking thing with the cubby holes in it. It's basically one of those mesh grid things. And it's like, I think 3 across, question mark, by about 5 high, and doing this 3 down each side, across, down, secure the corner couplers, do it again on the one, like, this doesn't sound like it would be that time consuming, does it? It sounds like it would have been a fairly quick and easy thing. Yeah, no, it was not. It was not. But it gave me something to keep my mind occupied yesterday. Did it stop me from crying? Fuck no. But I mean, worked through it anyway. Finally kind of got into a groove when I put on Anthology 1 and 2. I didn't mean to exclude 3, it's just I finished before I finished 2, so, you know. So that's all done. That's one less thing on my plate to have to worry about. So, but after 8.5 hours of standing up when I already have a bad back to start with, I think I'm just gonna take a chill day today, because, oh my god, I am feeling it. So, our local movie theater is showing Labyrinth later today. I think tomorrow too, but so my sister's gonna bring me to go see that because I've never seen it on the big screen. I've wanted to my entire life, but was a lot more excited before Talia died, but I still want to go. So we're gonna do that. And that's about where I'm at and what I've been doing to just keep my mind occupied to try to pass the time. I did make the rookie mistake of going through my mom's iPod trying to find any and every picture with Talia on it. Oh my god, I was like so beyond myself hysterical, ugly crying by the end of that process, but I wanted copies of all of them, so I don't regret doing it, but oh my god, she told me I can do it with her phone too, but I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm clearly not ready. I need a little more time before I do that one, but yeah, still just really, really depressed, really guilty. Still have a lot of conflicting emotions about cremating her, but again, it wasn't my call. So, I do find it ridiculous that we had like a literal coffin built for her years ago when we thought we were losing her, and now it's just gonna chill in the garage forever? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Very strange why my dad did not opt to use it, but here we are. Anyway, it is unfortunate that in her final weeks, he spent weeks making like this holder for like her food and water bowls and everything, and it's so nicely done. It literally looks professionally made. Kimberly didn't believe he made it. I was like, dude, I literally watched him out the window. I can attest. He 100% built that, dude, and painted it. Like, I somehow knew just for how much Talia had slowed down that you're jinxing it. I just know you're jinxing it. And unfortunately, I was right. She never even got to use it once. So it's in the garage now. I guess whenever we get the next doggy, it'll get to use it. But it'll be a bit before we have next doggy because we're waiting until after Kimmy's wedding to get the next one. I don't know how fast after that it'll be. It took time to find Talia and adopt her, but, you know, kind of have to wait on that since for her wedding we have to stay overnight somewhere because just driving distance and the fact that there will be drinking, Kimberly made my dad promise that you'll stay overnight somewhere and not try to drive home like that. So there's that. But silver lining to that is that, well, we were kind of freaking out at, so what are we going to do about Tolly during that? And now that's a moot point. But because we had already wondered that, that's why we have to hold off on getting the next dog. So we don't want to, like, be in that same boat of, so what do we do about the dog while we're gone? Everyone we know will be at that wedding. So, yeah. It's too far away to just Uber back. It would be hundreds upon hundreds of dollars, so no, can't do that. Yeah, I remember Ubering home from San Francisco to home back when I was still dating the Monkees keyboardist, and although he paid for it, I asked him how bad the bill was after because I felt really bad about it, and he was reluctant, but he showed me it was like a couple $100. I was like, and that was just San Francisco. This is San Jose. That's further away. So I'm like, oh god, yeah, no, can't do that. I cannot do that. So anyway, yeah, so that's why we have to wait on the next doggy, even though it is really hard. My mom's like, I just want one right now. I want one in my arms right now. I'm like, I understand. So do I. Trust me, really, really badly. But we gotta wait. So practically counting down the days now. Like, oh my, can we get another doggy? Oh god, it's rough. It's rough. But anyway. But my dad is like quickly trying to trade us into saying, don't say it's after Kimmy's wedding because that'll make her feel bad about it. Say you're waiting till after my birthday because his birthday is like the day after she gets married. So yeah, that's an interesting dynamic all on its own, but I'm not here to judge, but I'm like, I know why you chose that name. Like, that was like the ultimate F you to Dad. I got it. Because Dad'll know what you're doing on his birthday. That's so fucked up. But anyway, regardless, yeah, that's where we're at right now. I know I've been sparse on here. I need to get back up on my pony and ride. Like, only way out is through, right? So I need to just start getting back into my norm again. So I need to start posting the videos. Like, I still have my Lippies of the Week video from what should have been last week's. So the dates are going to be fucked up, but hang with me. I didn't get a chance to post it before Talia died, so now it's kind of out of date, but I've also barely worked on it since then, so it's still relevant, I guess, but anyway. God, the heater is really screwing with me. It just came on again. I took an allergy pill, but it takes like an hour or two to kick in, so I'm like, oh, fuck. I got this, like, as soon as I took it, and, like, there's still that much coffee in there, so that tells you how not long ago I took my pills. Like, right before I hit start on this, so I'm like, yeah, that wasn't really long enough, but oh well. But anyway. Yeah, it is just, it's a process. I know it's a process. It's a hard process. It's a sucky, inevitable part of pet ownership, but again, I would take on all this pain again in a heartbeat just to do it again. A million times over. Because I miss her so much. I want to do it again. I'm sure she'd want us to have another doggy around to love too. And even though I know I like saw it in a meme or something once, I'm trying to choose to believe it is so, in that the time between her passing and when we get the next dog, she's training up the next one to be ready for us, is how I'm choosing to look at it. So, anyway, between that and that meme about how God sent dogs to Earth as angels in disguise, but he sent them without wings, so we don't know they're angels. And I'm like, they are. They are. They're just God's most perfect, flawless creature. They're so pure. They're so pure. Anyway, so I just keep trying to comfort myself with stuff like that. But it is hard. I am not gonna lie. It is still really, really rough. So, although I'm gonna try to force myself to get back into the habit of posting videos again, it's probably gonna be really obvious which are which in the ones that were filmed before and the ones that are being filmed after, just because energy levels and moods are so vastly different that I think it's probably gonna be obvious a mile away, even without my having to disclose which are which. But again, the only way just to try and find normal again is to try to get back into my usual routines, which I have not been doing much of any of, which is part of, no doubt, why I feel so off right now, is that everything feels out of sorts. I haven't been filming and posting. I haven't even, like, been taking the most basic of time to, like, do my skincare even. I think I've washed my face once since she died. I need to, like, take a long hot shower today, because, yeah, full disclosure, I'm gross right now, but I think, given the circumstances, understandable that I went a few days into depression mode, but time to start climbing back up and out, because she wouldn't want us all to be super sad forever. She'd want us to be happy. I know that. So I'm trying to get back to some kind of normal, but it is hard to do. It's really hard to do, but anyway, I'm trying anyway, but it's hard even trying to get my brain excited about anything right now. So it's like, I held off on just slogging through videos right off the bat, because I was like, I could make them, but it's gonna be like watching videos by Eeyore. They still might, but not quite as intensely so as it would have been those first few days, but again, I know logically I'll eventually hit something approximating normal. At least there is that last Beatles song to look forward to, although that is bittersweet in and of itself too. At least that's coming next week. I'm trying to just look forward to the little stuff like that, looking forward to, even though it involves still a lot of work, seeing how close the finish line is on stuff with the room and being able to move this setup in there so I can stop getting bitched at by my dad for being in here still after literally months of using this space now while working on that. Yeah. Anybody would like to contribute, I'm about $100 away from my goal of being able to reach the finish line on the last stuff I need to make it possible. Just throwing that out there. If anyone feels like helping, be it by donation, be it by buying stuff from my eBay, what have you, it would help immensely right now, in just speeding up the last little bit of this process, since apparently I forgot to factor in, with the costs of the mattress, even though it's on Amazon, apparently it's not free shipping. Oops. So between that and tax, I was like, oh shit. Okay, I thought I had it, but I'm about $100 short of where I need to be now. And I gave my dad a time frame of when I was doing this. So I'm like, fuck, okay. I hate to be that person and throw that out there to ask, but again, if anyone has anything they can toss my way, just speed up this last little bit of the thing. It's the last thing that I need to do. Because as soon as that's here, slap that on, haul the old one out, and immediately move this in. Because I have the room divider, I have the backdrop, I have my extension cords to hook all of my stuff up in that space. I got the wall secured, the yarn wall secured, I have the TV and that. All of that's done. All of that's done. It's ready. All I need, I even have the new bedding for the new mattress when it comes. All I need is just that last little hurdle to be hit. Oh god, I thought I had this all worked out, but oh, I didn't notice that part when I was looking at and tallying up all of the stuff. I was like, shit, okay. Okay, so again, I hate being that person to ask, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. So, you don't have to, but I'm throwing it out there to the universe, because if you don't ask, you don't get, right? Right. So, I'm at least gonna try and throw it out there and ask, so, anywho. But yeah, that's where we're at. It's close. I'm trying to just figure out the logistics of everything else, because at least at that point I can get this set up in there, and then be much more even keel about working on the rest of the room that isn't in that space that's visible. So, yeah, that. Because, I mean, the whole point of the room divider is hiding the fact that, to move this in that space, pretty much everything got shoved over to the other side of the room for right now, and I know that's not ideal, and that's not permanent, that is just to get it out of the fucking way, to do the thing, so I can shut my dad up. But at the same time, it's also like, okay, now I can go through this stuff, but the plus side is, all the trash stuff that I needed to go out is now eliminated, it's gone. The stuff that is sticking around, now we're just down to the stuff I'm keeping, and now I can assess and evaluate how exactly I'm gonna mitigate organizing and storing that stuff. So that's a much easier thing to do when you don't have all the fucking trashy stuff that you don't need interspersed in with it. And god, there was so much, but yeah, not like gross trash, but just like stuff that, why the hell am I holding on to the, like, these size 0 pants that I will for sure never fit into again? Like, what the fuck am I doing? Why? Like, wishful thinking shirts. Like, I'm a size 10 now. Like, I'm never gonna be a 0 again. Like, let's be real. But, yeah, shit like that. So, had to go through, get all of that out and gone. It did the thing. It's out. It's gone. Hella space cleared up. But now, yeah, time to start sifting through and figuring out, so how am I gonna do this? I did get an art cart for like my sketchbooks, my pencils, my markers. Not quite all the markers fit on it, but that's okay. Space that I cleared off of the shelves on the other end of the room, putting it in the art cart, now they fit there. So that's one thing that was just like randomly in amongst the mountain of crap is now neat and tidy in a wheelie divider, 4 tiers up. Like, cool, it's pretty nice. Not the minty green I thought it was gonna be. It came out more of an army green, but that's okay. I don't care. It functions. That's all I care about at this point. If it bothered me that much, I would get a can of minty green spray paint, take it outside and fix it. But I don't care that much. I just need it to function. And it does that, so it's fine. But, yeah, I even showed my dad the difference of, like, this is what Amazon showed. This is what I got. That's not the same color. They don't even, like, show it as a color option. It's like they have black, white, red, and turquoise. This is neither turquoise nor the minty green it looked like online. So I'm like, okay, whatever, it's fine. Thankfully, I like green, all shades, so I'm fine with it. I'm not mad at it, but I'm just like, oh, that's totally not the color I thought it was gonna be, because I totally thought it was gonna, like, match my bedding that is also turquoise, but that's cool, it's fine, it's fine. Oh, but I have the sequin backdrop in. It's so pretty. I'm glad I listened to Kimmy on that one and got the rose gold, because when I saw it in person, I was like, oh, she knew what she was talking about. Yeah, this is actually really gorgeous. This is a lot prettier than what I was gonna pick. Okay, she wins. She walked in the room yesterday just to see the progress and saw that sitting there. I was like, oh, is this the backdrop? I was like, and you were right. She holds it up. She's like, oh my god, so I just changed my mind. I am getting the rose gold table runners after all, after looking at this. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I was like, I know. So, I mean, I'm glad that one thing panned out well this week. So that's really pretty, and it'll look super nice once it's clipped up to the room divider as my backdrop for behind me and my videos in that room. Because, I mean, even if the room were immaculately clean, I did used to film in there at my old desk, like, facing back across the room, and I find it's very distracting with that deep of a depth of field, because you find yourself just, like, looking around the background, like, not even meaning to be a creep about it or anything, but just curiosity. It's human nature. I do it too. Hell, it's and I find myself doing it in old videos if I go back to them that show it. So, like, if even I'm doing it, I am positive you guys are doing it. No shame at all. I get it. But because it's so distracting, I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that again. I'm just gonna have a backdrop so it's not crazy distracting with how far back the room goes and, like, looking around at all the shit. Like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Plus, it'd be weird to have my bed in the background of every video. I don't know, that feels weird to me. I'm sure some people are fine with that, but I'm not. Like, for as much as I put, like, my every detail of my life on the internet, that is one thing where I'm like, I don't know why that makes me uncomfy, but that detail of all things, of all the things I have put out, that's the thing that makes me feel weird? Huh. Okay. So, I am sure at some point I'll, like, have a selfie or something, or happen to, like, film a vlog while just chilling on the bed, but, like, it's not like you guys can never see it. Just, I don't want it to be in the background of every video. That feels weird to me. Like, you know where I'm coming from, right? Like, that feels weird. Like, it's one thing when, like, the depth of field in a room, if you're, like, in front of, like, the foot of the bed looking straight back, but when it's, like, a sideways view, like, that feels weird. Like, just for an example, you would agree, right, that this isn't my room, this isn't my bed, but, like, if I were just chilling, and that were, like, the background of every video, that's fucking weird, right? Like, no one wants to look at that. No one wants to look at that. And that would be about the angle. And I'm like, no, let's not do that. So I'm not gonna. Hence the whole point of the backdrop with the pretty sequence. It'll be nice. It'll be nice. So, it'll be hella girly, but it'll be nice. So, hopefully I don't run off, like, the handful of male viewers that I have by having a pink backdrop, but I think you guys will live. So, I mean, you guys hang with me posting my makeup videos. I think you'll live with me having a sparkly pink background. So, anyway, yeah, I just need that last hurdle just to make it over the finish line, to be able to do the last thing. and then finally bring this whole setup in there. Because as soon as I do that, I'll probably be doing streams all the damn time in there, because I'll actually be in my room where it doesn't feel like I'm constantly worried about, I don't know, is Kimmy home right now? I don't know, I don't want to be bothering her because these walls are really thin, and in this room, her room's like literally right on the other side of that wall. So I'm always hella self-conscious about it, and I never want to be bugging her and stuff. Half the time she's not even here at night, so it's a moot point, but I never know for sure. I never know for sure. And even if it's like daytime hours and she's home, I don't know if she has like a migraine or not. Am I bugging her? My room is back across the hallway. There is more space. There is 2 bathrooms in between my room and hers. There is nothing else over there. I am bothering no one when I'm in my actual room. So, yeah, it makes a huge difference. And I am very, very eager to be able to move this whole setup back in there as soon as we get that last hurdle hopped over. So, anyway, yeah. But anywho, how did this turn into an update on the room reno? I don't know. I don't frickin' know. I mean, once all of that is accomplished, then I can save up for like a proper desk chair, but for right now, I am not even worrying about that. I will continue using this chair in there initially. I'm not waiting on a freaking nice ass desk chair just to move this over there. No. We will move before that. So I just need the freaking mattress for my bed. That's all I need at this point. I just need another $100 just to make it happen. But anyway, yeah. It's close. It's very close. It's so close I can taste it. Like, the end of the tunnel. Like, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's right there. I just gotta get there. So, it'll be a little bit of a learning curve with the different lighting in there, since it's a different side of the house. Instead of having the window directly in front of me, like in here, it's off to this side of me, and will be sitting far closer to the window in there than I am in here, so hopefully it won't be like too blindly intense, like in the late afternoons. If it is, like, I suppose I can get like a tension rod and like put up a window shear or something. Like, I have Venetian blinds, so I still want some light to come in. I just don't want it to be blinding. You know, I'd rather not get cataracts from sitting adjacent to like the bright ass sun shining in my face all the time. So yeah, that. I mean, I know even when I used to like do my computer setup down at the dining room table, it would hit about that part of the afternoon, and it was straight across from me then. It was awful. And that's the side of the house that window is on, and there's nothing I can do about it. So it's like, well, I guess this is what we're doing. And I will figure out a way to make it work. If I have to at first, I will just close the damn blinds and turn my ring lights on, because that'll be the other perk of being in there. I can have more than one lamp going. In here, I only have the one ring lamp. In there, I technically own 3 ring lamps. I can pick and choose what I want to use. I don't think I'll plug in all of them at the same time or anything, but I'm gonna like compare and see what do I like the look of the best. One of them has like cool colors on it that I haven't even gotten to use yet, that I bought a few months ago, like shortly after picking up and residing in this space, but I haven't even gotten to use it yet, so I kind of want to try that one out. I don't think I'm gonna be using crazy colors, like just chilling while doing a video like this. That feels distracting, but who knows, maybe it'll look cool. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's those, plus my little task lamp that I used to use, like, for all of my makeup videos. That's in there. All I have to do is haul it over. Boom, done. Or actually, I might not even need to do that. I might be able to just re-angle it from where it currently sits and just open it. Might be fine. I do also have, like, that overhead, like, gooseneck lamp that currently sits next to my bed, but all I would have to do is just, like, haul it out and boom, stick it next to the table. Just, like, stick it over me, probably. Not, like, in my face, but over me, probably. And boom, done. Cool. So between that light, this light, like, we will have good lighting no matter what the situation with the window is. It will be fine. I have no shortage of lights. So I even have like multiple color temperatures of LED like room lights too to pick from. Like shortly before I moved my setup in here, I had been doing an experiment where on one end of my room I have the cool temperature lighting. It's kind of bluish like what I'm using right now is. But then on the further side of the room, it's like the very warm lighting, like the literal, can I even tilt it to that? Like that. It's just like, aka normal people room lighting. So I was trying to decide which one do I like the look of better. I've had the warm temperature in there like all along, but it doesn't feel that bright when it gets to nighttime hours, and that bothers me. See, in here, these are literally the same bulbs, but because it's a smaller space, it reflects different, and I'm like, dang, okay. Well, I still haven't decided which one I do like better. So I have a box of both. All I have to do is decide which I like better, swap out the bulbs in the one that doesn't line up with that to then match it. LED bulbs are cheap, so it's like, well, it's like I think $15 for a box of 4, and that does my whole room. So there's those. I have can lights over my bed that are still incandescent, but I try not to use those since those are expensive to replace. So I'm like, I only use those sparingly if I need to. But usually I don't even turn those on, but sometimes I do. But I don't think I'll need to for when I move this setup in there. I think it'll be fine without it. Especially with like light bouncing back off of the sequins too. It should help with like just keeping everything nice and bright and colorful, so I hope anyway. But now that I see those, I'm like, yeah, I am definitely glad I went with these and not the red ones I was looking at, because I was like, but Liza Minnelli vibes. But thinking about that color balance on a camera, just like in a room like this, you can tell my iPod is struggling as is to balance the damn colors of my skin tone, and has been this whole video. I've been watching it in the viewfinder. It would be so much worse with the bright red background. So I'm kind of glad I didn't do that. Just like I'm kind of glad I didn't do the emerald green either. That, yeah, it would look badass with my hair, but oh my god, it would be so dark and it would constantly be fucking with the color balance on the camera. So it's like, well, yeah, the rose gold's a good shade because it at least won't screw with that. I don't think. So, I know Kimmy was like, I have literally watched YouTube videos of people just because they had that background. I could have cared less what they were talking about. I watched just for that pretty background. So I think you're gonna see an uptick in views. So I'm like, well, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. But I have it. It's still folded up nice and neat right now until I can afford to get the mattress and get that in there, old one out, and then I can set up the backdrop. But I'm so eager to see it all set up and see how it's gonna look. So I'm sure it's gonna look really cool, but anyway, I'm looking forward to being able to do more cover videos again once I'm in there, because again, being in there, far less just nerve-wracking, feeling like somebody is constantly potentially listening to me and hearing me screw up 20 million times in a row while I try to get one usable take of a song. If I'm over there, technically I can be heard downstairs if somebody's in the den, but pretty much the only person who'd be in the den is my dad, and I kind of don't give a shit if I'm annoying him. So he does it to me the other way around. He'll be in the den playing his guitar, annoying the crap out of me. So fair game. This is why it's like, I don't say anything to him, he doesn't say anything to me. Like, it's simpatico with that, it's fine. But it's one of those things where, oh man, yeah, actually, the other day, like a couple days before Talia died, he actually had his guitar out, and usually he just defaults to like this one bass run that he's played for pretty much ever, and it drives me insane because it's like, please, for the love of God, play something else. But it caught my attention because he was playing something else, so I was like, is somebody here that's not Dad or something? I went and peeked in, no, that's Dad playing it. So of course I couldn't hold my tongue. I was like, holy shit, you can't play something other than that one bass run. But of course I was like, oh, you want to hear the bass run? I was like, no! But then he started doing it. I was like, fuck. But then he did start, like, diverging out into other stuff. I was like, so, like, can you play anything with chords that's not finger picking? And he's like, yeah. But then he just did his, like, mariachi thing. And, like, you know, it sounds better when you do it on the Spanish acoustic, which is the original guitar he learned to do that on, aka my first guitar, which I also then learned to play it on because it does kind of sound badass on it. Not gonna lie, like, actually, yeah, it does. But it still works on a normal guitar just fine. So he's doing that. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But then he somehow went from that into that Cheech and Chong thing, da-da-dun, da-da-dun, dun-da-dun. But he was doing it wrong, but it was close enough to where I could tell what it was supposed to be. But he just kept running with it as if he was convinced that it was correct. I was like, hold my beer. But I don't even drink beer, it's just a saying. But I ran upstairs, grabbed my guitar, came down. I was like, this is the way that goes. So I started playing. I'm probably gonna get copyright claimed even for humming it, but you know the one I'm talking about. Anyone who's familiar with Cheech and Chong knows exactly what I'm talking about. I have been playing that stupid song since I was 12, so I know how to play the damn thing. He's like, whoa, show me how to do that. I was like, okay. So suddenly this turned into a guitar lesson of me teaching my dad how to play Earache My Eye. And I'm like, my life sometimes, I swear. But so he gets that down, and then he's like, yeah, but can you play the Munsters theme song? And I was like, I've never tried. I suppose I probably could. So I played around with it. I eventually, more or less, picked it out. Not flawlessly, but I figured out where the notes were, more or less. But I couldn't do it without screw-ups. Otherwise, I probably would have posted it as a video. But I don't think I have enough days between now and Halloween to do it as a video this year. But I was like, oh, that is kind of cool, though. That is fun to play. And somehow that turned into... What did that turn into? This turned into me being Little Miss Show Off. I was like, yeah, but can you play Pinball Wizard? So I start playing Pinball Wizard because, I mean, I've been able to play that since I was like 14. Like, not even a big deal. But, he's like, holy shit, how are you doing? And I was like, I can show you? Like, here, let me turn so you can see what I'm doing. I'll do it slow for you. But it's like, and I know I have the notes right, seeing as I'm friends with Townsend, so I have double-checked my work. But anyway, so he's just like, huh. And he didn't actually try to copy it, but he watched me doing it. I was like, why are you acting like this is the first time you have ever heard me play this? I have, for sure, been playing this song for hella decades. Like, practically since you gave me my first guitar. That was one of the first things I learned on it. And then, again, because I was just in show-off mode, I was like, hell, let's throw Amazing Journey in there while I'm at it. Let's throw Sparks in there while I'm at it. Fuck it, let's just play all of Tommy, because apparently this is what we're doing now. And then he got, like, pissy about it, because I was running rings around him, and he likes to be the center of attention. So he's like, yeah, well, can you play the bass run to Roundabout? And I'm like, Roundabout? Yeah, that song by Yes? And I was like, no. How the fuck does it even go? I've never thought about just the bass run to Roundabout, because I'm not a bass player, I'm a guitar player, but he's a bass player. So I turn on the song, and I'm like, oh, yeah, fuck that. Like, you're on your own. Like, here, I'll pull up a site. Here's some bass tabs. And he's like, how the fuck do I read that? And I'm like, seriously, right now. You are the one who taught me how to read guitar tabs. Are you fucking with me right now? Like, I can't tell if you're playing or not. I don't think he was. I think he genuinely forgot how it works. So, okay. Had to give him like a quick lesson in how tabs work, even though he is literally the one who taught me how tabs work. But okay, whatever. So did that, and he kind of clunked his way through part of Roundabout. He's like, now you learn something. And I was like, what? Fine. Let's look for guitar tabs for Crazy Train. Fuck it. Why not? Like, go big or go home. Or actually, no, I think I said Ace of Spades first, but I can't move my fingers fast enough to make it work. So I kind of just end up sitting there, like, admiring whoever is playing it. But yeah, I tried, but oh god, it kills me. I wish I could play that song like the way it goes, but just my hand doesn't move that fast. Which is how I landed on Crazy Train after I was like, okay, something a little slower that maybe I can kind of swear to do. I got the don't and the I got that much of it down. But beyond that, as soon as it speeds up in the main part, I was like, okay, now it lost me. Shit. This would also probably sound a lot better on an electric than on an acoustic, 'cause this sounds like the unplugged version of Crazy Train. So, as I clean through my room more, and I can actually access where my electric guitars are, I might, who knows, maybe you'll eventually get a cover of me doing Crazy Train. I don't fucking know. I got to my amplifier, I found the wires for it, more importantly. I knew where the amplifier was, but I didn't know where the wires were. Found my wires. So, at least that is potentially usable should I feel like it. I don't know that I feel like it, but if I should, it's there and I know where it is. So there's that. But of course, then I'm over here like, but there's like a million other things I want to like play too, so it's probably gonna end up taking a back seat. Just gonna be real. I wouldn't hold your breath on that one. Like, my ukulele chord site that I like the best just added, oh, what was it they just added that I was looking at last night? Let me pull it back up. It was some Peter Allen song. I Honestly Love You. I was like, holy shit. Like, both given the timing and also just, it's Peter Allen. I was like, they did the thing. I requested it on this site like 3 years ago and the guy finally did it. So I'm like, oh my god, I need to learn it now. But then they also had like one they added from Finian's Rainbow out of nowhere too. That was like, oh my god, they added like out of nowhere. How are things in Guacamora? And I was like, it took me a minute to like remember, why does that sound familiar? Why do I know that? And then all of a sudden I was like, Finian's Rainbow. So yeah, they added those recently. They also added Shine on Your Shoes from the Bandwagon. They added Frank Sinatra's Witchcraft, which I had wanted to learn in time for Halloween, but seeing as we are like 3 days away, I'm like, I don't think it's gonna happen in time this year, but I might do it anyway, just because, not as a Halloween thing, just because it's cool. I don't know. Prior towards us even getting to like the holiday season, when I had watched, what was it? The Miley Cyrus Backyard Sessions thing on Disney Plus, I realized the version of The Climb that's specifically in that version, they dropped the key a little to where she can hit the higher notes in it, in that version. And I was like, I can sing this version. Because I have wanted to cover that song basically since it came out. Most of the history of this channel, I have wanted to do a cover of The Climb. But I could never hit the high notes in it properly, and I was like, oh no, this is one of those songs that if you're going to do it, you better fucking own it. My sister did it in like talent shows a few different years, because she can sing the shit out of it. which is what put it on my radar to want to try to for YouTube. But again, I was never able to adequately hit those notes. But since they dropped the key a little on this one, because Miley has similar vocal damage that I do, I was like, holy shit, I can sing this version. Because I found myself singing along while I was watching it, and I was like, I'm doing the thing. Quick, get a piece of paper. Let me try and transcribe out this version of the song into ukulele chords. And I have it, and they've been sitting on this desk for like 3 months, waiting for me to get around to doing the damn thing. Am I tripping, or was... When I edit this video, I need to like look around the timestamp of around the 1 hour mark. Was there something on this side of the screen that like showed up for like a split second, or am I tripping? Because I could swear I saw something like for like a flash of a second, like on this side of the screen. I was like, what the fuck was that? Ooh, okay, just kind of freaked out right now, but don't know what that was. But anyway, yeah. If that was Talia, hi Talia. Somehow I don't think it was though. That's, I'm like, what was that? Anyway. But yeah, it's been sitting here waiting for months for me to get around to it but now we're getting around the holiday months, and I'm like, now I feel obligated to do stuff that's like thematically appropriate, so I feel like I missed the window to do it, but I still want to do it. Yeah, anyway, I'm babbling. This really took a wild turn off of where this video started from, but I kind of am just talking because, like I said, I have not really, like, filmed hardly anything in what feels like hella days now. So, yeah, for me that's unusual. I'm not used to being this quiet for this long. You guys know damn well, I will talk and not shut up pretty much until something makes me stop. So, yeah, that. So it kind of feels good just to talk to a camera, even if it's just a very stream of consciousness like this. But anyway, yeah. That's about where we're at with things, with grieving, with the room updates, with hopeful intended content updates, hopefully. I'm definitely doing this song, I just don't know when I'm doing it. Yeah, anywho, I'll be holding on to those in a safe place if I don't do them before the holidays to make sure I don't lose it, because I did transcribe it really, really well, because none of the chord sites had it in the key that was used in backyard sessions. They all had it for the original. I was like, that doesn't help me. I need it in this key. So, I was like able to use Chordify to do most of the job, but there was spots where I still had to like go through by hand and figure out by ear what chord needs to go where to fix it. Which is fine. That kind of seems to be the way with when I use Chordify to transcribe a song that I don't have yet that doesn't seem to be anywhere online. Usually, like, it'll get a good chunk of it down, but then I have to manually go through and figure out the parts that it didn't get right, because it's not perfect. It's not a perfect service, but it's still pretty good. But anyway, again, I am babbling, so I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna try my best to try to force myself to just start making videos more normally again. We shall see how they go. But yeah, they'll still be interspersed with the pre-filmed folder, so the very fluctuating mood levels, that's what that's about. Those were filmed before. These are filmed after, so it's like, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, so that's it for this one, guys. So, as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you would like to help me hit that last hurdle that I need to, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. So, anyway, guys, till next time. See ya.